Hey everyone, so welcome back to another video. Today we are going to solve iterator for combination. So what are we doing here? It's not difficult to understand the question, but you should definitely try to pay close attention when I'm trying to explain something, because I think you should just watch my entire video and don't try to skip any part, because this might be a little confusing if you haven't done similar programs before. So okay, first of all, let's have a look at our problem statement. So we have to design an iterator class which has a constructor which takes a string characters. It will take a string and it will be named characters. So don't get confused about whether we will be receiving characters or string. We will be receiving string and it will be named characters. If we want, we can change it. Doesn't matter. Of sorted distinct lowercase English letters and a number combination length as argument. So we will have a string all lowercase and sorted, and we will have a combination length. We will have two arguments, and then we have to create a couple of methods, next and has next. So it should be pretty obvious what this method does. It just returns the next combination length in lexicographical order. Now this might be a little confusing, but first of all, let's have a look at another method which we have has next, which returns true if and only if there exists a next combination. So what are they talking about? So let's have a look at this example. For example, they have passed abc as a string and 2 as a combination length. So we have to find all the combinations of length 2 in a particular string. We have to find combination and not permutations. So here order does not matter. Okay, so order does not matter. And for example, what are the permutations of length 2 in this string? AB, AC and BC. And lexicographical order means we have to just sort them in alphabetical order. Like we have AB and then AC, because A and A have same ASCII values, okay, and they come first in our alphabets, but B comes before C, so we sort them according to this. And then we have BC, because B comes after A, so that must be pretty obvious. And because we want a combination of length 2, these are the only three combinations we can have of length 2 from this string. Okay, so what do we have? And let's look at constraints. Our constraints are: 1 is less than or equal to combination length is less than or equal to characters dot length, which means our max value would be characters dot length would be 15, and minimum would be 1. And there will be at most 10 raised to 4 function calls per test at most, and it's guaranteed that all calls of the function next are valid. So whenever next is called, it will be always valid. So how are we going to do it? First of all, I would like to use a queue of queue of type string queue. I know that's not very good naming, but just let's just focus on logic. And then it will be new linked list. I think you know why I'm initializing it with a linked list, because queue is a interface in Java and linked list is a class. So we can't create objects of a interface. We have to use a class. That's why I'm creating new linked list. And now we will have another method which would be we can call it gen, generate combos. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm naming it generate combos. And then what are we going to pass here? First of all, we will pass our characters, means our string, and then we will pass a starting point. Just wait for a minute, I will explain what this starting point means. And then what are we going to pass? We are going to pass our combination length and a empty string. which will contain our current combination. So what is this method going to do exactly? First of all, it will be private void, it is not going to return anything, and generate combos. So I think the name explains what the method might do. It will just create all the possible combinations with a certain length, given length, that is a combination length. So we will have a string s, and we will have integer start point, and then we will have a integer combination length, and then we will have a string, let's call it current combo. Okay, so we'll call it current combo, and this method will help us to generate all the possible combinations of a given combination length. So first of all, we will check if our combination length is equals to 0. What we'll do is we will add q dot add or current combo, and we will just return, because let's have a look at our next line first, and then I will explain you. For integer I is equals to 0, sorry, I is equals to start, not 0, I is less than s dot length and I plus plus. So we will just create all the possible combinations of a particular combination length which will be passed to us. And how are we going to do it? We are kind of going to do it recursively and combos generate combos. And what are we going to pass? Our string is not going to change, our string is going to remain as it is. But what are we going to do is, our starting point will definitely is I mean it's going to increase, and then our combination length is going to decrease by 1, and our string would be our current combo plus s dot caret I. Okay, so first of all, let me explain this generate combos method. So what it will do is, it will just generate all the possible combinations of a certain combination length which will be provided to us. For example, let's just say our string is abc, our character string is abc, and our combination length is 2. So our first call to generate combinations would be, it will contain, our characters would be our string whatever it might be, I mean abc, and then our start point would be 0, and our combination length would be 2, and we will pass an empty string as a current combination. So because currently our current combo string is empty, and when we enter the method, we check if our current combination length is 0, and if it's not, our condition will fail, and we will go into this for loop, and it starts from I is equals to start. So since our start initially is 0, it will start from 0, and then it will call again our method generate combos, and it will pass string, or s is not changing at all, and we are moving one step forward, start plus 1. So it will call with let's say parameters, or s will be unchanged, so it will be abc, it's not going to change throughout our program. And then our start would be incremented by 1, so it will turn into 1, and then our combination length minus 1. So because it was 2 initially when it was called, so it will become 1, and our current combo string would become from empty string into our s dot caret I, which is 0 initially, so it will just add a. Okay, and then when we call our method generate combos inside our loop using these parameters, so it will just call again and it will again check if our current length is 0, and if it's not, it will again come into this loop, and this time our start is 1, so it will start from 1 and again call our method generate combos, but this time it will call with parameters ABC. So as I said, it is not going to change, but our start would become 2, a combination length will become 0, and our current combination will become A B, because since our start was 1, so it will become 1, it will become 2 when we add 1, and our combination length was also 1, so it will become 0 because we are subtracting 1, and our s dot char at 1 is B, so it will, and also we called our current combo with A, so our value of current combo was A, so it will become A plus s dot char at 1, so it will become AB. And then when we now this time we call with combination length as 0, as you can see here. So when we call it with combination length as 0, so it will check if a combination length is 0, and in this case it is 0. Okay, sorry for that, a combination length, so combination length is 0, so it will just add AB into a queue and it will just return from our method. Yes, so it's I, my bad, I'm sorry, it should be I, not start. So it will just keep making such recursive calls, and eventually it will add all three values, all three combinations. Okay, and we will be out of this loop. And now since we have all our combinations, we can just delete this line. Okay. Okay, now we have generated all our combinations, so what's remaining is we just have to check is, I mean, if we have to return the next value, so what we will do is we will just return q dot poll, so it will just return the first value added. Okay, I think you know the how q works. It returns the la I mean the first in is first out, whichever value comes in first goes out first, so we won't have to worry about sending our elements in a lexicographical scope, because we are adding them in a lexicographical scope, so they will automatically come out in a lexicographical scope. We will just return not q dot is, so we will just return not of q dot is empty, because if a queue is not empty, that means we have next value, and if it is empty we will just return false, because we don't have another values, because remember we are only adding the values which satisfy our condition. We are only adding values which satisfy our condition. They have a length 2, combination length 2, and yeah, so that's why we don't have to worry about other conditions. And also here we are not checking if queue is empty or not, because they have mentioned in our problem statement that our next call will be always valid, so we do not have to worry about that. Now let's try to run our code and let's see if I have made some mistakes. Oh yeah, as sorry for that. Now let's run our code again and show difference. Okay, so there is no difference. Now let's submit our code and accept it. So thank you for watching my video. I think this was a bit confusing for me, but maybe you have experience with this kind of question, so it might be easy for you. I'm not saying it was a tough one, but I'm not very experienced with combination, I mean this kind of questions, so I had to think much more than I had to for previous questions. So if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon and share it with your friends. Thank you.